Every morning, I have an AI assistant that grades my cold calls out of 10. We've been doing quite a few recently, and it's not so easy to get started when you don't really have sales training or a proper sales manager to learn from. So we're using AI to record our calls and give us feedback on them, and it's very humbling. I built it with Claude code, and honestly, it's a bit brutal, but it does help you improve faster as you have to kind of identify where you're going wrong, listen to your energy, and maybe work on the suggestions that it gives you. My biggest day was 115 calls. Everyone got recorded, and to go over that physically and manually would be a lot. If you had a sales manager, you could send it to them, but this will identify your calls that went well, your calls that didn't go well, and it will put them in front of you. So kind of forces you to learn and confront it. I'm going to show you a example of what that report might look like. I have edited it a bit as I didn't want to keep real client data on them. So let's take a look. Okay, so this is an example of what it could look like in a PDF, or you could get Telegram, and it will link you to the audio files too. So if we look at this one, yesterday, say we made, a low amount, 14 calls, it will be honest and it will give you a score. You can see this is one of my days that didn't go very well. It says that my objection handling was very low or could be improved. Stronger, even though not super strong, right? It goes over your energy, your tonality, your opener, your objection handling, and your close, right? So it scores them all out of 10. It gives you a verdict of how the call went and a suggested fix. And usually it has the listen part there too, which is available in a live version. For anyone looking to get started with calls and don't have access to advanced software or a sales manager or coach, this is something that would work quite well for you to improve faster over time. It's something that you can build with Claude code. You might want a VPS to store the recordings. Of course, you have to process them in a legal way. All right, let's roast me a little bit. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Voicemail. No value in the first line and no reason for them to call back. Well, okay. I've been changing it quite a lot in the voicemail that I deliver. It's something which is easier to identify when you have this type of software to help you spot the patterns, or the randomness, and it's something that makes it easier for me to identify and work on next. So yeah, this by itself won't help you get better, but if you use it, then it will help you use your time in the most positive way by listening to the things that it recommends and obviously taking it with a pinch of salt, but or its verdict and its fix. So it can put the things that's most important for you to work on in front of your face every day. All right, so here's how it works. Every call gets recorded and graded and notes are taken. So at the end of the day, you got hours worth of recordings. You don't know which ones are worth listening to unless you manually take notes. So this system will help you fix that, right? So especially if you're making a high volume of calls, it's a lot of time to spend sorting through them. And yeah, this is going to put it all right in front of your face. So yeah, that's it. Like, basically on the call, it's gonna use a telnix number. It gets converted to an MP3. The AI will listen to that call. It will interpret it, and it will give it a score out of 10. It can also give you more advanced feedback and be wired into more advanced systems. I've seen people selling whole SaaS to do with this concept. It was going to identify which ones are the worst or the best in order to give you feedback on, and then it's going to ping it over to your phone. So yeah, now every day you can spend 10-15 minutes to go over the previous day, see what you did good, see what you did bad, and work on the improvements. Basically it's going to work in the background for you. It's like having a coach. It makes it much easier for you to keep track of how you're doing. And yeah, you can see my last one wasn't too good, but we're working on it. Again, this is just roasting me a bit more. This is just like, obviously, it shows that I need to work on my objection handling, my closing as the priorities. And I agree from how my calls went. You know, energy, tonality could be improved. So, the practice is needed. So, yeah, it's a useful system. I'm really happy to have it, and I'm going to give away a little bit of it, a prompt and some code to help anyone get started with it. And if you have any questions about how to do it, I'd more than happily um, answer them. Maybe drop a more in-depth video going over how it works and sharing the process of how to build it. And I think it's useful for me and useful for anyone who's looking to start making calls to grow their business.